Hey, I don't know if that worked properly or not. I've got no idea. I have technical issues this morning. Morning, one and all. Obviously, we are live recording our next podcast on our YouTube channel this morning on Saturday, the 22nd of June. If you have seen this and you are watching live, by all means, make a comment or two. We'll read them out and we'll have a chat about what's been going on. So, hello, Malcolm. How devil are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Apparently, we've been live for 6 seconds.
For 6 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm absolutely fine. I've been busy. I'm suffering from a bit of hay fever currently. I cut one of my toenails a bit too short, and it's kind of niggly this morning.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
I came out here in sandals because I'm in the shed. I came out in sandals, and I think I haven't mowed the lawn enough, and some of the grass got onto the end of my sandal. So my sock is a bit damp.
Right.
But how are you? What have you been up to?
You got a damp end, an overly nibbled toenail.
Yeah.
And you're in the shed. I think that was
Yeah.
a good resume. Yeah, okay. Me, no, I'm okay. So I pre-warn you as we do this. We will record as long as I can keep going, basically. So what we are
bust.
We are 18 days after surgery. 9 days after being allowed out of the hospital, blah 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 blah. Had a quite a good week actually. One of my best and oldest friends came down to be with me through a week, mainly to be second in charge of the stick of don't do that, because Natasha's arms obviously started to hurt from waving the stick around too much. So yeah, well, so it's been quite interesting. 2 carers, they're absolutely exhausted. They're sleeping. It's 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. They're sleeping because I've just run them ragged and I'm just just being me. So no, I'm doing okay. Day by day is a strange way of doing things. You do something you think is like not challenging, not difficult, easy peasy, and get halfway through the task and go, oh right, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
So to fill in people who don't know, who perhaps just tuned in.
Sorry. Yeah, so basically, I had a heart attack 3 months or so ago, or maybe a little bit more than that. I may have had more than one, but anyway, long story short, open heart surgery, triple bypass, and all aftermarket parts were authentic and sourced from the correct producer. Actually, do you know what? Actually, I do want to talk about this a little bit. So forgive me, because there's a few humorous things that have happened. So, and if I don't do it now, I'll forget. So basically, as you'll all be aware, first of all, again, thank you so much, everyone that's sending me personal messages, cards to the hospital, messages on Facebook, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. I've been totally bombarded and overwhelmed by your generosity of good thinkings and stuff, and sending the best wishes and all that. So a massive, massive thank you to you. That's really been made me quite buoyant. Obviously, if you've been following the Facebook page / Instagram, there's been a few pictures and bits and pieces put up by my own stupidity, really, just trying to keep myself a little bit entertained. the amount of weeks I've been in hospital waiting for the operation has been quite laborious. So a massive shout out to all the staff at Harlow in Essex, Princess Alexander, and the Basildon hospitals, because obviously they're the ones that have treated me and put up with me. Massive thank you to those guys and girls. The nurses have been absolutely fantastic. And when I say nurses, I'm going to be all inclusive, male and female, just to get that image out of your mind. They've all been up for a laugh. They've all been willing to take mocking pictures of me that I can use on Facebook and Instagram, making space helmets, among other things. So a massive thank you to you all guys. I won't name you because just in case any of your upper people up above frown a little bit, but no, you've been absolutely amazing. You've helped me through this part of the journey so much. It would give me so much confidence, so thank you for that. So that's sort of the ground basis of where we are. Obviously, going back to the pictures, there is a caption competition at the moment. It's probably my best side within the picture. That's still running at the moment.
Where could one find such a caption competition?
So the caption competition is on the Facebook page, Just Making Conversation. You won't miss it. I have put it up on Instagram as well. We didn't put a date on it, just purely because we didn't quite know how it was all going to work. There's some great captions in there to start off with. A comment, for example, of Dale from Airfix is going to be re-looking at the classic range. In for the crack.
They need more filler. Is one of the ones I think.
Yes, lots of talk about filler, which doesn't fill me with great happiness. But there's also one in there that it's quite a long message as such, but the punchline is, as I look out over this beautiful Vesta. I'll let you catch that one up. Talk about drip pans and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, there's some really cracking captions on there. But the bit that I want to get to is the fact that it is a competition. So the fact that you will, aka caption, will be picked out. Now, Malcolm doesn't know all about this, so he'll have to bear with me just as much as you are listening to this. But so what I've done is I've actually got a little model, and it is a little model, but it's quite a popular little model. Malcolm loves this thing himself, and it's from Ming. What is it, Malcolm?
It's the Atreides Ornithopter from the film Dune.
There we go. So that is a prize, and I will post that to anyone anywhere in the world. So it doesn't matter where you are. Make sure you put a caption on there, and I will get that little kit to you.
I've seen a couple of those. They look quite fun.
They do look really good. I mean, I know Meng are going to bring that out in 1/72nd, which is going to be even more fun. I don't quite know what the size is of that, but I've seen pictures of it, so that'd be cool. But anyway, so there is a prize, and because of the recovery and all the other bits and pieces, I'm going to leave it till Wednesday. No, let's leave it till Friday actually, because this what we're doing right now is obviously live on the YouTube channel, but this will go out as a podcast on Monday, and that gives you to the end of the week then to get your captions in. The best caption will be drawn, and the prize will be, or the prize winner will be contacted. Now,
there are some funny ones in there already, so people have to get their asses in gear, so to speak, and get some funny ones in there. There's already some good ones, and I think, to be honest, I've probably chosen the one that I like the best. But we will discuss all that later.
Yes. We will, and we may have a third judge involved at some point as well, but I haven't asked them yet, so I can't guarantee that will happen. But anyway, that's something in which we're obviously going to do. Now, the other thing, which I'm going to let the listeners make the choice. Now, obviously, I've degraded myself as the best I can over these last weeks. to give you a bit of a smile and a bit of humour while keeping you in touch with what's going on or not. Now, if you want me to make that caption winner competition a t-shirt that you can purchase, I am more than happy to do that and donate any funds we can make to a charity of your choice.
Mhm.
So that's something else you can think about. It might, whether you want me on a t-shirt with a caption in that particular picture, I don't know, but I'm more than happy to accommodate that wish.
Just a disclaimer then on that is that I have no control over what James does these days. So if you have any complaints, then send the complaints to complaints@plasticposse@gmail.com.
Yes, that's the address that deals with all their complaints. And and just very quickly before we move on to anything else, I just want to say thank you guys. There's 8 people watching on the YouTube channel right now. There is Rob Suto, there is Andrew, there is Gary Morris, and others that haven't messaged. So Rob is just saying good morning, chaps. Glad to see you on the men, James. Thank you very much. Gary Morris said hello, boys. Good to see you, James. He's got a nasty crack in it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll move on. And Andrew's just saying good to see you, gents. So yeah, thanks guys for putting those messages in. And I completely lost track of where we're going. So yeah, so we covered the caption competition. We've given you an update of where we are health wise. Now, obviously, given the health scenario, our podcast schedule is completely out the window. I think for the majority of this year, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very ad hoc. So I may not
apologize. Particularly good in the first place. Was it?
No, that's it. So I think we both knew something was coming. So we'd already sort of pre gone down that road. But yeah, so I'm not going to make any apologies for that. Bear with us. And when we've got something interesting or humorous to do, then we'll get you involved, obviously.
Or not. I mean, we don't have anything interesting or humorous to talk about today. We still do. If I don't have anything interesting or humorous to talk about for 3 seasons. But apart from that, let's move on.
Well, no, I think we've had a humorous moment within 3 seasons. I think that would be unfair. Yeah.
If you boiled it all down into a nice jus, then maybe it was a bit humorous there.
JMC jus.
Yeah, nice gravy, nice thick gravy.
Do you know what? That's another bit of merch that we could look at. We could bottle JM. No, leave it.
No, no.
We'll that reminds me. I know what after all this long waffle of 12 minutes or so of waffle, I remember now what it was I was trying to get to, which was the humorous side of having a triple bypass.
Okay.
So had lots of laughs and jokes and bits and pieces, but I just wanted to share the experience of going into the operating theatre with you, which I thought was quite funny. Now, as you'd be aware, if you've been listening or at all accidentally tripped over any information to do with what's been going on, you may be aware that the surgeon involved for this particular operation may or may not be a fan of said show. I won't name him. He's been asked not to be named, just in case anything does go wrong. He wanted to be anonymous, which is fair enough. So anyway, on the day of the operation, I've been whisked down early in the morning down to theatre, sitting there having a chat with a gentleman, very nice guy, who's telling me that after this operation he's going to retire, which didn't worry me in any way, shape or form.
This is last operation.
After this operation, so my operation was the last operation that he would be involved in at all, because he was going to retire. So yeah, I don't know if all the staff were in that particular petition or whether they were just all running straight after the op. I don't know. But anyway, so that made me chuckle a little bit. So anyway, I get into the theatre, lying on the slab, so to speak. The anaesthetist comes over and explains that he's going to be sticking needles in me and putting stuff across my head and whatever. And he says to me, oh yeah, we have a tradition here. We can play some music. What sort of music? Is there anything you'd like us to play? So my response to him was, well, no one warned me that I should have my last song choice to hand before we start the op. So I said to him, well, do you know what? My taste in music is quite varied, so I'm going to just put something on that you think's appropriate. Probably not the best thing to say, in all fairness.
What was it?
So it was Billy Joel is what he put on. I can't remember the song now. I've forgotten it off the top of my head, but it was Billy Joel. It was a nice soothing song. I remember making a sarcastic comment going, wow, is that what you chose? And he went, yeah, why don't you like it? And I was like, Billy Joel? It's a bit of a choice, isn't it? And I think he may have been offended at that point. But anyway, that's fine. I'm used to that.
Did you remember was a particular song that he...
It was a particular song, and the title, I even wrote it down, but I haven't got it in front of me. But it's gone out of my head, so I can't remember. But I will, as soon as I remember, I will post it up. Right. So anyway, so then the surgeon comes over. Now the surgeon had seen me the day before, and I've been sat in my room, in the broom cupboard where they kept me away from everyone else, with my little drawing pad, sketching out my model that I want to, or project that I want to embark on for part of my recovery. So of course we've had a conversation about that yesterday, etc., etc. He's gone, oh, you're right. Have you put your drawing somewhere safe? Said, yeah, it's all on the side waiting for me. So, well, we'll get you back to that as soon as we can. Not a problem. Really looking forward to how you're going to put that together. Had a little chat, and everyone else is falling asleep because we're going into model mode. And then, getting bits and pieces done, not really taking much notice of what people are doing. Loads of people around. And then the last thing, the last thing I remember before I was no longer part of the conversation was this lovely young lady face. Now, I know she wasn't, I'm going to say it this way, but I know she wasn't as low as my memory has it. But this lovely lady's face in my groin area saying, hello, I'm the consultant that will be playing around in this area this morning. And me going, oh, hello. So that was my last thought process of, there's a lady left in my groin.
Well, nice dreams, maybe.
Well, I don't think Morning Glory was involved at any point during the surgery, because they wouldn't have noticed anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But yeah, so got down.
Yes. She was the one, obviously, that was taking the PE parts from the particular part of my leg that would then be grafted onto my heart. So,
right.
Great team effort. Thank you very much, everyone at Busman and hospital food. I can honestly say to you, it's not as bad as everybody would think. Although I do have some pictures that serve some shocking stories, but
what the picture that you showed me didn't look like that was food. That like it came out of another end.
Well, no, see that the sausage. I went for sausage and mash, didn't I? That's where I went wrong.
Yeah.
To start with, sausage and mash, because obviously in England, for those of you that are around the world, you might not realise what this is like a staple English, can't go wrong. It's mashed potato with a sausage.
Didn't look good.
However, what I didn't take into mind was that I was in a ward that was above the mortuary, and it looked like someone's intestines that had dropped out, and they thought, "Oh, we'll fry that and put it on a plate," but forgot the frying part of the process.
Yes, the cooking part. Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah,
it looked disgusting, and I hope you didn't eat it.
I did eat it just out of pure fascination to see what it was like, and it wasn't any better. So
yeah, you must have been ill.
Yeah, I was just hungry.
Well, we're glad you're back, mate. We're really glad you're back. We're all rooting for you, and we hope that you continue to recover nice and slowly, step by step, bit by bit. Don't go doing anything crazy.
Oh no.
Just enjoy the relaxation and recover slowly. But yeah, we're very happy to have you back, mate.
And thank you actually to you. I haven't said this. I meant to have said it ages ago, but thank you to you, because you send me messages periodically saying, remember to relax.
Oh, I did.
Chill out. Yeah,
That's right.
and it's made me smile and reminded me and done the job. So
Good. Well, usually I say, "Oh, I'm just reminding you to relax." But if you do have time, could you do this? Usually
no,
what
you see, that's what you haven't done.
Oh, okay.
Every time you sent it to me, I've looked at the message and gone, right, okay, yeah, there's another one coming. I know there's something. Can you
Yeah, yeah.
remember to share the bloody stuff, James? Or have you replied to the emails? Or no, nothing like that at all. That's what's made me chuckle.
Andrew. Andrew says, "I hope they didn't use the Edward bypass kit. It's rubbish." Obviously, he's had a previous experience with the Edward bypass kit. Maybe. So yeah, we've got a couple of things to go through. I've written some stuff down.
Okay.
As you believe. One of the things in the comments here is it says there's always the big relocation of the Metal Models for Heroes HQ to talk about. And yeah, I will talk about that. So the last 3 weeks have been, for me, have been moving models for Heroes from the warehouse that they're in to a warehouse around the corner, which is, I'd say, twice as big, 7 meters by 7 meters. It's got a mezzanine that you can walk on without having to use a ladder. It's much more accessible. We can get all of the model kits in one place. It's brilliant. So that's why I've been this last 3 weeks. Models for Heroes has basically been on closed down while we've been sorting all that out. And in that period of time, I've doing a little bit of modeling in the evenings as well. So that's good. I'll talk about that in a minute. But we're nearly done. We're nearly ready. What's amazing is that just the sheer amount of kits that we have, because obviously we knew how many kits we had in our stash, let's say, for Models for Heroes, but we never had them all in the same place before.
Yeah.
So we have 3 storage containers that we rent, and now all the kits are together. It's quite cool. So I will, when I get around to it, I'll get some pictures taken and put them up on the page. I'm sure people will be interested. So yeah, if anyone's anywhere around Newbury in the UK, you're more than welcome to visit. Just give us a buzz and let me know that you're on the way in. We're not in there every day, but yeah, I'll be glad to see you. I'll be proud to show the place off. It's really good. And the only way that we've managed to afford that sort of place is because we get so much support from the hobbyists. So thank you very much. Don't usually talk about Models for Heroes too much on here. I say that every time, but
well, no, but it's a milestone, isn't it? With
what we do. That's what I do.
With the charity at the moment is a definite milestone. The fact that you've managed to bring everything together into one unit.
Yes, that's right.
It's going to make things so much easier for you.
And also we can get more volunteers in there at the same time. We can get 4 people working in there at the same time. We probably wouldn't bump into each other. There's coffee and tea making facilities. There's a sink in there, running water. Amazing. And windows. It's almost like we're humans.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So I'm looking forward to that all getting going and working away. The other things I got to talk about on my list that I can carry on with, unless you have anything you want to butt in with.
No, go. Let's do it.
Okay. So the other thing is this week I had been invited to go along to the Airfix and Royal National Lifeboat Institute press day down at Poole at the RNLI College, where they teach lifeguards to be lifeguards, and they teach lifeboats to be lifeboats, and they do that from scratch. They build them from scratch using fiberglass materials, and their Shannon class lifeboat was on display as a model. And Airfix's new starter kit that they're bringing out, they had that on display as well, and it looked awesome. So they invited loads of different people down from the community. A couple of club members were there, winners from the Airfix club, and other press people in the UK, magazines and stuff. And they we had a tour of the factory, which was lovely. Very, very interesting the way that they build these things. I didn't know that the RNLI built their own lifeboats from scratch. I had no idea, so it was interesting watching that. And then we talked about the training of the lifeguards and things like that. So they had a pool where they can capsize the boats, and the guys can train, not drowning. They can train on rescuing people. This pool that they can put the boats into, that you can see it from underneath. They've got a viewing area from underneath, so you can watch from underneath. They have a public viewing platform outside. They can lower the shutters and make it completely pitch black in there. They have a projector that can project lightning and dark clouds and helicopters and rough seas and all that kind of thing. They've got a wave machine in there, so they can simulate massive waves. They have a really good bit of technology that is a hose pipe that can simulate rain. And 2 huge fans that simulate wind. So could you imagine what it'd be like in the pool, on full wave, full storm, massive noise of a helicopter above your head, plus wind, plus rain, plus hose pipe. And then you're meant to fall in the water as well. Crikey. So yeah, they train hard. They also put the boats through their paces as well. So once the boats are made, they take them off for 8 weeks and they try and break them. And then once they've passed their sea trials, then they go off to a new lifeboat station. They make a new lifeboat fully fitted from scratch in 12 weeks.
12 weeks, wow.
Yeah. They bake the fiberglass hull. They have a mold, just like you would do with model making. They get a mold and they put sheets of fiberglass stuff down and roller it on, and then they build all this in an oven the size of my house, and they put the lid on, and then they bake it at 80 degrees for 8 hours. And when it comes out, pop, it's a boat, right? And then they do the same thing with the cabin part, and then they glue that on with the same sort of adhesive stuff, and then you've got yourself a boat. So I watched a boat being baked, which is nice, like Bake Off, and yeah, they do that regularly. They've got a constant chain of boats going along, and then they fit them with certain types of engines and certain types of software and radar and all that kind of stuff and communication stuff. They have their own special software that they've written that they put in. It's pretty cool. And yeah, it was just amazing. So the kit looks great too. Talking about the model kit, the start set's been made so that it's lower amount of parts. There's details been molded into the pieces. It looks really good. We're also talking about the colors as well. So the R&I have 80 different paint shades that they use throughout their range of boats and stuff like that. And the starter kit comes with 4. One of them is orange, so that's the closest match. But we also, while we're there, took photographs of like the boats that are outside, that are waiting for either for refit, repair, or waiting to go out to their new owners. They as they sat in the sun, the orange fades pretty quick.
Really?
Yeah. So they get new coats of paint quite regularly, but you could tell where they had things like hanging from the side, like the little the buoys or whatever they're called that hang on the side of the boat. And then hard, you could see the outline of where the shadow of that was. So that was interesting. So lots of weathering interest. One of the things I picked up on was for weathering, if you were going to make one, is the bird poo. There was a lot of bird poo on there. So seagull white would be a thing. And I imagine that eye.A are working on a seagull white splatter pattern, perhaps even decals, to simulate seagull attacks, because some of them were covered in so if you want to make your lifeboat look realistic, cover it in white spots.
Yes.
But yeah, it was lovely. Airfix were great. They were very accommodating, very kind. They gave everyone a few kits to take away, including the new lifeboat. And yeah, it's lovely. Really good. I can't wait to go again to something else for free.
Yeah, no,
it's jolly.
The pictures you sent me look quite interesting. I mean, obviously, I didn't know that they made their own boats.
No.
And such a short turnaround, really, to make that. Soggy
Yeah.
bottoms obviously only occur once it's in the water.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you wouldn't want that when that comes out of the oven to have a soggy bottom.
No, thank you.
But yeah, super fantastic. You're very lucky to be able to have a look at the facilities as well.
Yep.
You know, as I said to you when you were talking to me about it, I've done some training long time ago in an environment where they did training for getting out of helicopters when they crash in sea conditions and all that sort of stuff. So I can imagine quite vividly what the conditions of that tank, if you like, are. But to actually physically be in a darkened space in water, rough sea, with lightning, being sprayed by a hose pipe, I can't imagine that.
And trying to remember your training and how you're supposed to float and all that kind of stuff.
Trying to remember you're not just bobbing up and down in that tank for a bit of a laugh. There is a purpose to what you're there for.
Yeah, and I guess the more you practice, the less likely you are to be shocked and surprised by if it actually happens. Yeah,
indeed.
They're well looked after there. They've got a really great facility. Everything's done in that one place. You know, it's built and trained and everything else. And of course, they've got loads of lifeboat stations all the way around the UK. The Airfix are also releasing a decal sheet separately, like an aftermarket decal sheet, which is about tenner, I think, retail, and that has every single name of every single lifeboat up to date of when it was produced. So if you had a lifeboat near you that you wanted to make that particular one, you could buy that decal sheet and you'd have the name and everything else. So I think there's a nice little touch. You know, if you wanted it, you can. It's interesting. They're talking about the cost of just making decals on their own. They said the cost and the work involved is immense. Yeah, it's interesting. Really interesting day. Thank you, Airfix, for inviting me. We have other things to talk about too. Doc Brown Scale Models has just popped a message in on this live show. He says, "Hi team, great to see you up and about. James! !" And Peter Ferrugia, he says, "Hi guys, I'm watching from Australia, raising a hobnob to you both."
He knows how to get mentioned, doesn't he? Hobnob in Australia. He's gone the full hog. Well done, you.
I know. He didn't even mention Tim Tams.
No, not once. So what else have you been up to? I mean, obviously, other than a massive move, reorganization, looking at some superheroes in the UK and how they train and get their bits together. For want of a better word. Anything else?
Yeah, lots of. So yesterday, I confirmed with the powers that be that models the model for the Musaru Cup would be coming to me this next year. Yeah. So that's cool. So I put JMC into the ring and I announced that I will be winning it this year. I'm sure everyone appreciated that overconfidence from me. We'll see. So yeah, James was last year. Yours was the little Ukrainian Ural truck.
Ural truck, yeah.
It was. The tree growing through it, and that was lovely.
I think you've sort of also thrown the gauntlet down to me as well. I mean, obviously, I don't know what the kit is yet. Neither of us do, but there is the possibility, obviously, that I'm going to have to step up and build along with you, like you did for me. So,
well, you know, I think a lot of people did that. I think a lot of people went out and bought that kit who listened to all the podcasts because they wanted to be involved and build it too. The whole point was, well, the reason we could do that is because they had chosen such an accessible and cheap model kit. And if they hadn't, you know, if they chose something more expensive and bigger, more difficult to do, I don't think everyone would have had the ability to join in. So I'm just showing on the screen for those who are listening.
Those that listen, Malcolm's just showing that his build in the YouTube world, and struggling to focus it in and out, which is pretty normal on a Saturday morning, really. When you got your bits out, just trying to get it to pop.
It looks better out of focus. I've got an idea.
Wow,
I've got an idea. Bear with me, listeners.
Oh, you haven't got an idea. It's early for ideas, you know that, right? Aha, yes. Oh, that's much better. What he's done there is he's put a bit of tissue behind it and then covered it with his hand. So yeah, you can see quite clearly there a one-to-one hand holding a 1/72 neural stroke. Yeah, no, I'm quite looking forward to it actually, and I won't stir the pot. I know Malcolm has thrown his position in there, and there's been a comment already. I won't stir that pot anymore, but you know, pucker up, boys. Malcolm's bringing it home this year. You know,
hope so. I'll try hard.
Yeah.
The IPMS Hamilton again, and the boys from on the bench, and this is called Finch. I think they're getting ready to go, and get and do it. I think the posse have put their name in. Geeks have put their name in. Or everyone, I think, apart from small subjects. I don't think they didn't want to do it this year. So yeah, should be good. Should be a good thing. Can't wait.
Cool.
That's on my list.
I'm not quite sure who, because obviously it's really easy with us. Because if I do it one year, then it's definitely you, and vice versa. Whereas obviously the other podcasts have got lots of other people, co-hosts and stuff. So trying to keep track of who's meant to be doing it and not.
They have staff. We don't have staff.
Yeah.
We need more JMCers. Maybe that's what we need.
That's what it is. Yeah. Justin Rhines there said, James, you look great for having a bunch of hoses and tubes replaced. Oh yes, thank you very much. My tubes and hoses are looking quite fantastic. Unfortunately, the rest of it is pretty bog standard me. So, yeah. Anything else outside of the bench?
Yes. So I have been working on. Oh, shall I switch my camera over? Can I do that without messing everything up?
Well, no, you can mess it up. It's fine. It's not a problem.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make you large.
You never managed to get me.
And the joys of being live is that while he tells you what's on his bench and what he's doing, I'll be back in a moment once I've powdered my nose.
All right, mate. No worries. Okay, so here we go. I got a picture of a 1950s United States Air Force pilot, jet pilot. This is from Land 13. As you see at the bottom, US jet pilot 1950s is in 1/32 scale. And Land 13 are makers of all sorts of different figures, usually in 1/32. Really good for your dioramas and to go along with your vehicles. So resin kit. Go and look at a Land 13 up. Actually, we interviewed Robert Lane 12 episodes or so ago. The guy who runs it, and it was really interesting talking to him about what he gets up to. So yeah, I picked this one up because there's a Vietnam group build going on, which is part of the Friends and Models for Heroes group. I can't get it to focus. I apologize about that. I think these things would be fixed by now, wouldn't you? But hey, so yeah, there we go. Got some color going on. So yeah, Friends and Models for Heroes. Their group build is Vietnam. Currently, so I'm getting involved with this guy. I've only just put the base colors on and done some research, basically, on what colors they should be. Browns and greens and sort of greys. So not very interesting. So he will be dulled down. The life jacket on there is quite bright orange, but that needs to be dulled down. He's wearing a yellow and will be a navy cravat because that's the fighter wing he's from. I think it's 8th Tactical. And yeah, I just did some research and just kind of, he doesn't necessarily have to be from anywhere in particular, but I had to decide what aircraft he was flying on. So the research that I did, he seemed to be fitting the most because he doesn't have like a front parachute. He has a gun instead of a dagger. And yeah, so there's a couple of bits on there. I was trying to work out what they were. So this is the focus is terrible. Sorry. This is the air hose. Yeah, this is the air hose that you plug into the aircraft so you can breathe. That's another part that you pull. I think it's for the parachute, and I think that is for plugging into the aircraft once you get in. I think that gets put. There's like a wire, and there's a pad on top, and that gets plugged into the aircraft. So if you do eject and you don't pull that gets pulled automatically. I think anyway. Yeah. So let's just base colors down for him. That's what I've been making. And the other thing, pull it down. Here it is. I'm sure I've talked about this on here before. I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, good. So this is the Meng D9R. This is one without the extra bits and bobs. Without the bar armor and everything. This guy is the actual model itself is complete. It's all done and dusted. Very, very happy with it. Weathering is, minimal, I would say. They get very messy very, very quickly around here. So all the paint's really been ripped off here.
Around the tracks, yeah.
Yeah, around the tracks and the undercarriage and everything else. So I've tried to recreate that. And then I've also I've done the interior as well. It's all completed. Really happy with that. It looks all messy and terrible.
Yeah.
There's also a little.
It's a really good idea in the fact that you've allowed the roof of the cab to detach, so you can actually get in and see all the detail that you've done inside the cab. There, you've got your M4H poster in the corner.
Yeah,
which is a nice little touch.
Yep. I keep taking these handles off because they keep falling off. I just knocked another one off. So I've got a little drawer over here full of handles. I'll just put that away because I'll lose it. Yeah. The other thing as well, obviously it lights up and it flashes and stuff like that. I don't know where my battery pack is currently. I put it away somewhere. So I can't light it up for you right now. But all the lights flash and the lights come on. But the thing I wanted to show you was the base. So it's got a ripper on the back. Okay, and the idea was the ripper was ripping the concrete up, right? Okay. What I did with the base is, it's just a picture frame, regular picture frame, and this is just regular foam card or stuff with the paper on the outside and the foam core.
Yeah.
Plonked it in the center. And then cut it up. So I used like a Dremel and a scalpel and everything else to cut all this through. As you can see, I've actually cut through the main part of the frame as well for a bit of a joke, as if it's cut through the whole thing. And then I pulled it apart and I got some research on how concrete looked when it had been ripped. An operator of similar things said that sometimes when you're ripping these things up, all the wires and pipes that are underground get pulled up. So I've put in some, you can't really tell because it's all the same color, but I've put in some sort of strengths to wire and pipes and stuff like that. And I can have those painted a different color and things. And it all gets pulled up and cracks up like this. And then there's always like a pile of rubble in front of it as it gets pulled along. I think that rip looks fairly good. Obviously, it's all
ripping.
It's all just one color currently, but
it's good. I like the fact that you've gone through the actual wooden frame, so that obviously when the R9 is on the base, it's diagonally across the square wooden frame, with the ripper slightly a couple of centimeters away from the edge, in mid rip, if you like. But the actual ripping process has started from the frame edge.
From outside the model.
A bit of wood. Yeah, you got a bit of wood ripped up there, and then into the contract.
Yeah.
Oh,
Paul does
yes.
Yeah, there you go. It's all some.
Yeah, I like that.
I've just got to finish that up and make it look more concretey. I've obviously got some sand going on as well, so I'll sort out. I want to put some markings on the ground as well. I'm not going to define which country this might be in, so I'm not going to do any research on the correct markings. It's just going to be road markings, just to make it look like it's a road. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and also, sorry, I've been using desert sand as well for that.
Oh yeah, nice from eye.A.
Yeah, it's okay from eye.A.
Rob Sute is saying it looks like one of those house robots from Robot Wars. So just to confirm that the actual bulldozer part of the DR9, Malcolm took off as he was explaining how it all looks. And then obviously Justin Ryan's there saying it's fantastic, Malcolm, love it. So well done, yeah. And it's very, very nice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you've been managing to do a bit. Obviously, I have not been doing any model making as such. My diorama that I was working on previously, which was meant to be ready for the 6th of June, but obviously missed that, is not progressed any further. And that was a stick of parachutists getting themselves all ready for the jump on the June 6th. In black and white, and at the front of that on a bench was an old man in colour.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea being is it was his thoughts. It's right here. It was his thoughts that were being represented with on this piece. So it's a round piece, a very small corner at the front there. Oh, hello.
Mm-hmm.
I do that and press that. For those that are with us on YouTube, you better see it. So obviously it's an older gentleman sat on a bench with his walking stick and a backpack, which got the colours on, and I put a decal of an American flag on his arm, and there'll be one of the unit will be on him as well. But then obviously the figures that aren't all on that base that I'm showing at the moment are all in black and white. And one of the things that stopped me from finishing it was I wanted to get the insignia, the badges and markings on the uniforms in black and white, which I have started that process but not finished it. But anyway, so that's there. That's sat on the side there.
Lovely.
I will get to that eventually. It will be finished.
I like it. I really like that, man.
I've missed the date that I wanted it for, but.
Yeah, it's a nice. It'll be ready for the 81st anniversary. Don't worry.
It'll be ready for Telford if nothing else before that. So yeah, not an awful lot going on in my bench. I'm wiggling around on my chair, thinking about what I'm going to talk about next. So a couple of things I wanted to just sort of talk about as we were coming to the end of this particular broadcast. I'd mentioned and alluded to it a little while back about having a recovery build. So I'm not going to reveal everything that I've got in mind, although I will try and explain to you a little bit about the subject in which I'm going to try and tackle. To aid me in that, I bought myself a book, of which I'm going to review in about 2-3 weeks' time. And this book is from
colouring book.
Stefan. Oh God, no, it's not colouring. That's way advanced for me.
Pop-up book.
Correct. This is from Stefan Damiski. If I've mispronounced that, I'm sorry, but I will kill anybody's name without much warning. And this is a super drawings in 3D book from Kagero, and it is of this. So this is the Japanese aircraft carrier Akaki. And this book basically is a walk around, if you like, of the ship. It doesn't do the interior, which I'm a little bit cross with.
Right.
I can understand why. But it gives you a nice walk around about all the main features of this Japanese aircraft carrier from World War II.
And it's 3D drawings, not a model.
Yeah, no, it's 3D drawings. So let me, for those of you that are with us, let me try and change my camera.
So is this your recovery build, is it?
This is my recovery build. So
Wow.
now, don't go getting too excited because yes, it is about the book is about obviously the aircraft carrier. No, I'm not doing a one-to-one representation of the aircraft carrier. However, this is the sort of detail that you will get. Let me see if I can bring that.
Oh, it's like a 3D rendering of it rather than. I see. Okay.
So it takes you literally around the outside of the boat. Now, this particular aircraft carrier was actually not meant to be an aircraft carrier when it was first built. It's meant to have big guns and yeah. So it's actually something that's been stuck on top, a superstructure stuck on top of a warship, effectively.
Oh, is it the one with the runway stuck on top, right?
Yeah. So initially, it did have the ability to fly its aircraft from underneath the main runway. So you could land on top, but you could fly out from the middle of the ship.
Huh.
Don't ask me. It's very weird. And yeah, so this particular book, like I say, I will do a much better walk around the book later, but it gives you lots of detail about how the superstructure, etc., was all made. And the reason for that, for me personally, is that obviously, if you haven't guessed already, there is a kit out of the this particular aircraft carrier that's in 132nd. No, 135th, sorry. And it's obviously not the whole aircraft, it's just a section of it. So what I wanted to do was, my wife has been saying to me that I need to do a big project, and I haven't done one for a long time. So I've done a little bit of research, which, as you know, I don't generally do with my builds. And the story of this particular aircraft carrier is quite interesting around the midway part of its life, which is the latter part of its life. And I'm going to try and utilize the kit that's out there of the flight deck of this particular beast, and that is a big kit in itself. However, I'm not satisfied with the detail that's going to give me, so hence why I bought myself a book to explain how to make the superstructure.
Wow!
And I'm going to let your imagination run from there.
Wow, that's cool. So so that's going to be. So you're going to have to get some aircraft, 135th scale aircraft as well, then.
So the kit that I am looking at right now, it's ordered, but not paid for. And the person I ordered it from has it. He's got it in his hands. And I'm not going to lie, I'm quite happy to say what I did was I phoned him up and said to him, can you just hold on to it for right now? I don't want to add to my stash unnecessarily. So if you can keep hold of it for me for a couple of weeks, and then I will sort out the rest with you later on, once we're at the other side of that point of the journey. So yes, so that particular kit actually comes with an aircraft as well. So it'll be one aircraft and part of the flight deck. However, I think I need a minimum of 2 more aircraft. Regardless of who makes them, it'd probably be 132nd. And if they're already started and someone doesn't want to finish them and throw them away, instead of throwing them away, you want to give them to me, let me know.
Yeah,
look on
eBay.
Out. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So so yeah, there's a particular point in history in which I'm going to try and recreate.
Okay, cool.
Which is going to be fun. It's going to take a long time. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's not going to. When I say it's my recovery build, I'm going to need to recover from my recovery build because it's going to be a
retirement build.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so that's me. That's what I've been up to. I've been doing a bit of research and bits and pieces. I have some other projects in the pipeline, but no dates for that yet because I don't know where I am with my health.
Sure.
So there you go.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's us done. I think that's us cooked. I think that's all the boxes ticked. All the things that I was going to talk about have been written down.
Yep. Certainly is. I'm just going to quickly highlight the couple of comments that have been made there. Ripped up the frame is a nice touch from Rob Suto for the DR9, and Justin's just saying that's an amazing idea. Looks great. And that's in relation to myself and my craziness.
So take some photos, yeah. And
yes, I'm going to take some photos. I will put a post up on the Facebook page with some pictures of what we've been talking about. As always, this podcast will go out on Monday. I will sort that out and make sure that's posted. So if you didn't have a chance to listen to us or watch our ugly bugs on YouTube, don't worry. Obviously, you'll now listen to us on your devices for your podcast, which are numerous out there. And don't forget, obviously, there are other podcasts out there of which you can tune into and probably get a lot more sense out of than us two farts. And the internet address for that, Malcolm, is
it's God, I had not said that for so long. I think just before I say anything, let me just type it into my computer system. Oh, it's not that. That's different. Oh, okay.
Oh,
no. That's a different website. That's a different website. I did not exist.
Well,
Who is this? Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So it's not. It's not modelpodcast.com because that's something else. It's actually modelpodcasts.com. So go and have a look at modelpodcast.com. It gives you a list of all the other fantastic podcasts that you can listen to.
And obviously, I'll just throw Malcolm under the bus, so I'll throw myself under the bus as well. Obviously, a big thank you and shout out for all the Patreons and people that have donated some money to us, etc. You, the listeners, are what keeps us going. And I haven't updated on the YouTube everybody's name, and I haven't got the list in front of me. But you know who you are right now, and I promise, not Malcolm, I promise, the next time we do a broadcast, I will read all your names out because I haven't done it for such a long time, and that'll take up at least 20 minutes of the podcast, and it'll make it a lot easier. So so thank you everybody for your support. We plod along as always, and we Malcolm, I haven't asked you this obviously until right this second, but are you able to pop those pictures up about your Airfix? Yeah. So we'll put them up on the Facebook page as well, so you can see all the pictures of the event that Malcolm went to, and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, from Malcolm and myself, a big thank you for those that have spent the last 50 odd minutes listening to us waffle and tuning in, and we will see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.